Yo, if you've been trying to grow your personal brand online but nothing is working, despite you doing everything right, I'm here to share with you the much deeper psychological phenomenon that is causing this struggle. I go by the name Moismai, and I grew my own Instagram to over 100,000 followers organically, and then helped other experts grow to millions of followers and a cumulative billions of views. And then I burnt out. And from the other side of that burnout, today I'm going to share with you in 3 parts not only how to overcome being invisible online, but how to grow a personal brand that is sustainable and aligned. So let's get into it. We have been fed a lie that in order to succeed on social media as a creator, thought leader, or expert, that we must play by the rules of social to win on social. Here's why this is a lie. And when you hear it, it's a complete mind fuck and mind shift. And only a select few of creators and thought leaders have even explained what I'm about to tell you in this manner. The rules of social, the algorithm, so to speak, is nothing more but a mirror of you. And there's something known as the mirror principle that claims that your outer world, your outer reality, is nothing more but a reflection of your inner state, your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindset. So everything that you are attracting is already within you. So if what you're attracting and what you're receiving is not what you want, that means we have some work to do internally. Now, for the purposes of this video, we are not going to tread into the woo-woo of the mirror principle, but if that's something that you want me to talk about and dive deep on, comment down below and I'll make sure to make a video about it. Given that the mirror principle is alive and in action, let's think about it on the side of the consumer. Well, everything they're receiving on their feed is nothing more than a mirror of them, both the dark and the light, the things that trigger their insecurities, their shadows, the things that trigger their aspirations and where they're going to. So if you're not showing up on their feed, that probably means that you have yet to align your frequency as a creator to mirror back to that person what they need relative to where they're at. Let me make this a lot simpler. If someone is on the journey to losing weight, if someone is on the journey to eating better, much of their behaviors, their thoughts, their beliefs are going to start attracting creators that are creating that kind of content. That means that that creator has either gone through what this audience is feeling and they are able to channel that in their message, or that creator knows that audience so well that they're making sure every point of their message speaks to them and mirrors to them exactly what they need. I really hope that's landing for you, because now that we understand that our social media and our algorithm is nothing more than a mirror, we have to expose the trap that many creators fall into when they're developing their personal brand. Now that I know that I'm a mirror, if I were to create by only abiding by the rules of success for social media, communicating in hooks, talking about popular general topics only, what is going to be reflected back to me? What audience am I going to attract into my frequency? Well, probably the audience that is only looking for transactional exchange of information. So you no longer in that moment are a personal brand. You are just a register of information that they are constantly pressing and taking information out of. So if you were to ever stop communicating about those things, if you were to ever expand beyond your niche, if you were to evolve as a person and start talking about things that had nothing to do with how you set up your platform, that audience is going to leave. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that is the fact of the matter. Why? The mirror you've established is predicated on the niche and information that you've given, and that is now the expectation of the audience. And Dr. Erving Goffman breaks this down in his book, and I quote, "When an individual appears before others, his actions will influence the definition of the situation which they come to have. Sometimes the individual will act in a thoroughly calculating manner, expressing himself in a given way solely in order to give the kind of impressions to others that is likely to evoke from them a specific response he is concerned to obtain. Sometimes he will intentionally and consciously express himself in a particular way, but chiefly because the tradition of his group or social status require this kind of expression and not because of any particular response." So let's break that down. Everything we do, whether verbally or non-verbally, evokes a response from the other person that ideally benefits us and what we want, Or if it's not for a response, we do it because we believe it's expected of us. So many creators and thought leaders in the land of social media will behave through niching down, will behave through hooks, will behave through popular topics in the hopes of getting a response from the audience that meets virality, that meets popularity, that meets growth. That's on one hand. On the other hand, sometimes they just do it because they think that's what's expected relative to the social media platform and what's expected of them per the persona that they have developed as an expert or thought leader. Now, believe it or not, I'm not dogging this way of moving in the social media space, because some of you watching, you're like, well, Mo, if I niche down and speak in hooks and talk about popular topics and I get the growth and I get the audience, I'm just going to keep doing that. And I say back to you, if that's working for you and you're in alignment and that's okay, mazel tov, keep doing what you're doing. But I know if you're watching this video, you feel like something is not right because you might be doing all those things and still not getting the results. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. So you're the person who feels like you're doing everything right and nothing is working. And as a result, your business, if you're using this as a marketing arm, is also not growing. And the real challenge here is when you become defeated. You almost feel ashamed because you've compromised your integrity of your thought leadership and your genius and how you can help people to play the game, and it's still not working. Erving Goffman really drives this home. He says, at such moments, the individual whose presentation has been discredited may feel ashamed, and all the participants may come to feel ill at ease, embarrassed, or experiencing a disconnect because the social system interaction breaks down. Meaning, what you are projecting into the world using these frameworks, using these methodologies, using these systems that have been told to you as being the only way to achieve success in developing your personal brand and your social media are incongruent with who you are energetically. So it dilutes your message when you begin to put it out. It dilutes the content when you begin to create it. Yo, quick point of clarity so nothing is misconstrued. The templates, the frameworks, the good hooks, and the proper scripting all do work in helping you grow your presence online. However, it cannot be where you start and build your foundation on, which I'll give you the solution later in the video, because it has severe consequences on the impression people have of your brand and the trust that you'll build with the community that you end up growing. Okay, back to the video. And the crazy part is that everyone watching, the reason why you're not getting views, the reason why they're scrolling away, the reason why they're not following is because they can call bullshit. And science backs this up. Erving Goffman says, the suggestion that the arts of piercing an individual's effort at calculated unintentionality seem better developed than our capacity to manipulate our own behavior. That simply means the person receiving you as you're presenting yourself to the world, they can sniff when something's not aligned. And Erving Goffman keeps on going to say, regardless of how many steps have occurred in the information game, aka what you give to the world, the witness, the audience, is likely to have the advantage over the actor, and the initial asymmetry of the communication process is likely to be retained. That means, in very colloquial language, the audience can call bullshit when how you are speaking, how you are presenting yourself is not energetically aligned with you. Great, Mo. Now what? Now I know that the things I'm using to try to improve my content, to try to grow my personal brand, are actually coming across like I'm forcing something I'm not. What the hell do I do? Well, let's talk about it. There is a way to show up congruently as who you are and what you're putting out to the world. There is a way to attract the exact person that you want as an audience and grow that following. And there is a way to be rewarded both algorithmically in growing your profile and your position online, and financially in your business just from your presence and your genius. All you have to understand is one key concept that I'm going to share with you now. So I want you to literally just push to the side everything you've learned about personal branding, everything you've learned about content creation, everything you've learned about profile growth. And remember this and anchor it in. Branding is nothing more but communication at scale. If that's the case, then what does that mean exactly? Well, at the fundamental level, effective communication is nothing more than three parts. There's the messenger, which is the speaker. There's the receiver, which is the audience. And then there's the message. The goal for effective communication is that between the messenger and receiver, there's alignment in what the message means. So if branding is communication at scale, all that means is you're the messenger. You have to be very clear on your message. You have to be very clear on who's meant to receive it. And then you just say it over and over and over again in many different ways. So all the different types of people from your audience that you want to attract can hear it in a way that translates to them and then associate you with that message. And I can assure you that this will work regardless of whether you're niche down, regardless of whether you use viral tactics or just talk about popular topics. Because over the course of an extended period of time, every single time you've put your message out into the world, it's an extension of your spirit. It's an extension of who you are as an aligned messenger. It makes you magnetic. It makes you attract the exact market that you want. And over time, it becomes your body of work because you as the messenger, your spirit, your beliefs, your perspectives, your interests, the amalgamation of all of that becomes the niche. And the people, if we remember the mirror principle, if they are attracted to those things, they will see themselves in you because they hear it from your message over and over and over and over and over again. The only thing you need to work on is becoming clear on those three elements. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to give you 3 prompt questions that will lead you into understanding yourself as a messenger, will lead you to understanding what your message is, and will lead you to understanding who your audience is. The first question is to really dial in you as the messenger. And I got this question from Leah Glavis, and I think it's a beautiful, beautiful question to really understand, outside of all the external stuff, who you are. And the question is, if I had to introduce myself without mentioning my job, my hobbies, or where I'm from, how would I do that? The goal is to get you to really journal what your essence is. This is where you are going to develop your values, your beliefs, how you want people to receive you, how you want to express thyself beyond just the external things, which you can always present to the world just for credibility's sake. But this is really a question of who am I at my core? The second question is to really dial in your message. And this may bring up a lot of triggers for you, but if you can really dial it in, it's going to change your life, I guarantee you. The question is, what would you say if you weren't afraid of being judged, canceled, or misunderstood? When you can answer that question and identify all of the things that you would unequivocally speak on regardless of judgment and with conviction in how you say it, that's when you unlock the core essence of the thing you want to bestow upon other people. And the third question is to really identify who you want your audience to be. Who is your audience? And the question is, if I were to time travel to assist my past self, what stage of life would I be in and what would I help myself with? I'm a firm believer that the most aligned avatar is nothing more but your past self. And for you to be able to answer this question is going to help you develop such a cohesive profile of exactly who you're speaking to. Now, if just hearing those questions has helped you already start thinking of how do I move in a way that is aligned, that is congruent, and that attracts the exact person that I'm looking for, I actually have a much deeper dive, particularly on how to develop your avatar, as well as how to dial in your own personal brand. If that's something you want me to speak on, if that's something you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments and I will make a completely different video that is a deep dive on both sections. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, if this video unlocks something in your spirit, it would mean the world to me if you gently caress that subscribe button, because it is truly my mission to help people like yourself. I believe that I was you. I believe that I am you, just a few steps ahead. You are a muted messenger. You are meant to deliver a message into this world that is to help people that are only able to receive it from you, but you've been muted. You've been told to say it a certain way. You've been told to package yourself a certain way. And it is my mission to help you unlock the utmost level of clarity, to position yourself in a way that is so aligned and is so magnetic and attract the exact person that you're meant to serve. All right, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.